Hello, fellow movie buffs. Sorry for the lack of updates. Going through a lot of changes in life. Getting a new job, moving, and just got my braces off. So this will be a big DVD Blu-ray update, and I probably won't have one for quite a while after this because I'm going to be moving. So first up we got here is Barbarella on Blu-ray. You can't have a cult film collection without Barbarella there. Let's see, we got the long-awaited The Boogans, about monsters from a cave. Really enjoyable early 80s horror film. Got some Scorpion releasing stuff here. The Picks. I haven't had a lot of time lately to watch, so I haven't watched a whole lot of these. So I haven't watched this movie yet, but I've heard it's a pretty good suspense thriller. Let's see, The Day After Halloween, a clever retitling of a film called Snapshot to confuse people at the time in the late 70s, early 80s that this was a sequel to Halloween, which of course it isn't. It's not even a slasher, but as long as you go into it under the mentality that it's a suspense thriller horror film and not a slasher, it is actually a pretty decent film. I got a double feature of Mark of Cain and Thrill Kill, two really rare Canadian horror films. I know Mark of Cain got a VHS release in the 80s from Best Drawn Video. I haven't watched Thrill Kill yet, but Mark of Cain's a very it's not a great film, but it's very well directed. I enjoyed it. Both these films are taken from a 1-inch Master Source tapes, so people quit bitching. That's all there is. There's no negatives left. There's no elements left. That's the best it's ever going to look. So thank you for Scorpion releasing those. Another Scorpion releasing of a martial arts film called Kill and Kill Again. I haven't watched it yet. Unbeknownst to me before I bought it, it's actually a sequel to a film called Kill or Be Killed, and also starring James Ryan. That film is not on DVD though, so I'll get around to watching this here soon. Got some Code Red stuff. Went to Denver recently to see Iron Maiden in concert. Stopped at a brick and mortar store, and I could not believe it. I found Haunted, a Code Red DVD in an actual store. So I could not pass it up. It was only $9.99. It was one of them I was missing. A very silly B movie about a phone booth that's put into a cemetery. Yeah, it's really a bizarre film. Another Code Red DVD release here. The Severed Arm double feature with So Sad About Gloria. Very enjoyable drive-in movies from the 70s. This DVD was actually recalled not long after it was released because Severed Arm apparently is missing like a minute of footage of dialogue. Even though it says uncut on the cover. Apparently Bill Olson, the owner of Code Red, got a slew of complaints, so he just pulled the DVD, and he actually pulled it before I had a chance to buy it. So I emailed him very nicely to say I would not complain, and I'm not selling to I don't want to get one and sell it for big bucks on eBay, and he was nice enough to sell me a DVD. So if you want it, email Code Red, and if you're nice, he should be nice enough to sell you a DVD of it. Got another Code Red DVD double feature of The Godfather Squad and Bruce's Last Battle, Mafia Martial Arts Mayhem. Godfather Squad's one of those so good it's bad films. I really enjoyed that. Bruce's Last Battle is a Bruceploitation film. It was actually unreleased until this DVD, but it's nothing special because it's just a movie that's edited from a bunch of different other Bruceploitation films. It's a complete mess, so that's an interesting feature. Picked up Image's re-release of Slugs, the movie. I used to own the Anchor Bay release of this, and I sold it years and years ago for some damn reason. I'm not sure why, but it's really, really one of my favorite all-time nature run amok films from the director of Pieces, so you gotta love it. So that's a lot of enjoyable there. Got The Boneyard. Someone linked me to a trailer in this online, and I can't believe I missed out on this. This was released in 1991, and the guy who directed it did a bunch of special effects of really cool 80s films like House. And this has amazing effects. It's got a little comedy in it, so this is one of those overlooked films from the early 90s that no one seems to talk about anymore. And the DVD's loaded with special features, so really enjoyable. I recommend that. Picked up an out-of-print Wild East DVD. I was missing Metallo, one of the craziest, most bizarre spaghetti westerns ever made that even has boomerangs. So out of print, so I was lucky enough to find that. Talked about Virgins from Hell, Mondo Macabre release in my Mondo Macabre video there. Let's see. Hawk the Slayer. I've been putting this off buying for quite a while. I used to own the VHS, the old big box VHS, years and years ago. I bought it at a video store going out of business, but the tape was like, I bought it on tape for $1, but it was so wore out I couldn't even really watch it. So it's finally great to actually be able to see it. So very enjoyable, low budget, early 80s British fantasy film. So yeah, I can see why this has a huge cult following. Got, let's see, Sandok, Umberto Lenzi's film from Maya Communication. Haven't watched this yet. I'm a big Umberto Lenzi fan, and especially his films of early in his career are kind of hard to come by, so it was great to finally get this. He directed a lot of some films before this about Sandokan, that's how you pronounce it. And this really has nothing to do with those, even though it's from the same author of the book. So I even picked up a few MGM made-on-demand DVD-R releases, even though I'm not a big fan of them, because they cost $20 a piece. They were having a sale on Amazon for $10 a piece, so I decided to splurge and get a couple. Got Future World, the sequel to Michael Crichton's 1973 film Westworld. Really enjoy Westworld, and this film has gotten the shaft ever since it got released. It's not that bad of a sequel. It's not as good as the first film, of course, but it's not that bad. Peter Fonda is terrible in it, but it's actually a decent sequel. It's on VHS it always got bad releases, and then on DVD it's not even good enough to get a fucking silver press disc. They had to go the DVD-R route, but it's a decent transfer. I was happy. Finally picked up, me being the Canon film fan, Enter the Ninja. This is a really good transfer, even though it's on fucking DVD-R. Man, I love Canon films, and you cannot beat the cheesy Ninja trilogy. They released Revenge of the Ninja ages ago on DVD. I've been patiently waiting for Enter the Ninja and Ninja 3. So Enter the Ninja got an made-on-demand release, so I finally picked it up. So, and of course, to complete the trilogy, Ninja 3, The Domination. And I was waiting for MGM to even give a made-on-demand release, but there's not even one on the horizon. So this is released by Bonsai Media Corporation, and they're a gray market company, I'll be honest. But their releases are hit and miss. Some of them have really great anamorphic transfers. Some are just VHS transfers. This is a VHS transfer, and not a good one. It's taken from a Japanese VHS, so it has unremovable or burnt-in Japanese subtitles, and the transfer's kind of compressed looking and blocky, especially on large widescreen TVs. So it is a disappointing DVD release, but at least it's on DVD, and it's a silver press disc. A gray market DVD, it's a silver press disc, unlike the official DVD-R from MGM. Go figure. So, but at least the Ninja Trilogy is on DVD. Found this at a pawn shop, Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer. Never seen it, always wanted to. Found it for this one was $3. Really happy I found it, so that was a pretty good movie. Got High Road to China. Long time coming on DVD. Tom Selleck, of course, most fans know, was the original choice to play Indiana Jones, but he was unable to take it because of his obligations to his show Magnum PI. This is kind of his answer to it. It's definitely a film inspired by Indiana Jones. Not near as good, of course, but it's enjoyable, very enjoyable. I was glad I picked this up. And it's produced by Golden Harvest, the Hong Kong film company, Raymond Chow's company, so that's kind of odd. So that's probably why it took so long to come to DVD. Got Relentless, William Lustig. I love William Lustig, the guy who owns Blue Underground Entertainment, plus he's directed Maniac, Maniac Cop, Vigilante, a lot of cult films. This is one of his more mainstream films, and I think that's because of that it's actually less known. And because it's more mainstream, it's not as graphic in violence. So, but it's still a decent movie. You know, it's not great, but it's a To Catch a Killer film, well directed by William Lustig. I've not seen the sequels, Relentless 2, Dead On, and a double feature of Relentless 3 and Relentless 4. Haven't watched the sequels yet, even though I've heard 3 and 4 are not that good. But again, a sucker for film series, so I have to own every entry. Let's see. Picked this up in Denver, the Philadelphia Experiment 2. A really forgettable sequel to the Michael Pare 1984 film, The Philadelphia Experiment. The first film was one of my favorites from the 80s. I grew up with that film, so that film holds a special place in my heart. This sequel's completely forgettable, but the completist in me, you know, I have to pick up the sequel. Got Piranha Double D. The Piranha remake was enjoyable enough for what it was. My brother says this movie really sucks, but I'll give it a shot. It's from the director of the Feast trilogy, and I enjoyed those. I love how the 2D DVD release is called Piranha Double D instead of Piranha 3 Double D. Kind of makes the title ridiculous. Picked up Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. This is the classic horror film that I've always meant to get, just never got around to it, but finally found it. So added that classic to my collection. Picked this up at the pawn shop, out of print. Stephen King's The Stand miniseries. I remember watching this as a kid on TV and really liking it, so it's fun revisiting watching this with my wife. I read the book in high school, loved the book, so it's kind of fun. I haven't watched the movie since I've read the book, so it's kind of interesting. Let's see, my dad gave me this, FX and FX2. I owned FX on DVD already, but I kept this for FX2. But I love the first FX. I grew up with that film. It's one of my favorite suspense thrillers from the 80s. FX2 is a typical kind of forgettable sequel, but let's see. At the pawn shop, picked up these for $3 for $5. The Walking Tall remake, Walking Tall The Payback, and Walking Tall Lone Justice. I figured, what the hell, I'll pick up the Walking Tall remake trilogy since I own the original trilogy on DVD already. Let's see. Yeah, we'll go for this. Got of course, what's a DVD update without Shaw Brothers? Pick up a few more of their horror films. Got The Seeding of a Ghost. Really enjoyed that one. The Boxer's Omen, which is actually a sequel to a film called, what's it? Oh, I can't remember. Witchcraft, or not Witchcraft. And crazy film, really enjoyed that. Quadruple feature, Vengeance is a Golden Blade, Half Sword Will Travel, Water Margin, Wandering Swordsman, and Epic Heroes Box Set 10. Heroes Shed No Tears, The Heroic Ones, Delightful Forest, and Two Champions of Shaolin. Delightful Forest is the third entry in the Water Margin trilogy there. And then my dad gave me Apollo 18, and my mom gave me Inception. And that's it for my DVD update. Sorry I had to rush through at the end. My battery's going dead. So peace out, movie lovers.